Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder. It's our First NBC Bank weekend preview. Brought to you by First NBC Bank with 35 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana and into the Florida Panhandle. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. Good news for the New Orleans area again. Pro volleyball is coming back, and I hope you read Lenny's story about that at SportsNOLA.com. Second straight year, and it looks like it's something that could be an annual event.
Yeah, and it's earlier this year because of the Olympics, and you'll see some Olympic hopefuls out there. And it's free. I mean, yeah, there's some opportunities to spend money on VIP packages and hospitality packages if that's to your liking. But it's a great 4-day event, Thursday through Sunday, April 14th through 17th, out on the lake or Coconut Beach, the early rounds, and it's free. So chance to see if the Olympics are obviously a big thing, counting down to August in Rio. And you'll get to see some of those stars that will be playing beach volleyball for the U.S. and for some other countries in the Olympic Games.
Tulane basketball search continuing. Looks like it might be narrowing down. At least one report has it down to 2 people, a certain guy from Yale and a certain commentator on television. Don't know how accurate that is, but that would certainly raise eyebrows and perhaps has already.
I don't think it's accurate, first of all. I think there's more to it than that. And, those are just maybe a couple of a larger pool out there. Troy Dannon is doing his due diligence. This is a different situation than the football coaching search where he really had a week to get it done. And that's not the case this time around, just based on recruiting rules. Football, if he didn't get the search done within a week, he was going to essentially lose a month. This time around, it continues to be basically an open period. If he gets it done by the Final Four, that's great. Let the market kind of sort itself out. One name that was probably mentioned out there was Brad Underwood at Stephen F. Austin. He gets the job at Oklahoma State. You mentioned Doug Gottlieb. He was hopeful of that job. Oklahoma State is his alma mater. That would be, that and some of the other names that I've heard out there, maybe with some NBA backgrounds and stuff. Remember this, what Troy Dannon said last Monday, and I'll leave it at this. They've got to bring some excitement back into the program. They've got to resell the program back to the New Orleans community. So maybe you have to go out of the box with a hire and maybe not just hire a top assistant or an on-the-rise head coach. And so just keep that in mind.
So what you're saying is that if you're going to dive into the pool, make it a belly buster and not a perfect leg entry so you get a big splash.
Make a splash, exactly. That's, you need to sell tickets, okay? This is still a business. You need to sell tickets, and there's been a lot of empty seats in Devlin Fieldhouse, Fogelman Arena, whatever it's called these days, over the last few years. And it's been 21 years since Tulane's been at a tournament. You got to try to make a splash somehow.
The Tulane gym, okay? Basketball, the Pelicans. I'll stop there.
Stop there. At Indiana Thursday night, back home Saturday night against Toronto. And look, again, just playing out the string at this point. Didn't really, they got way behind Tuesday night against Miami. Did manage to creep back a little bit, but could not pull out the W. Again, at this point, it's just going to be where you're positioned and seeing what you can see out of some of these other guys for the final 3 weeks that might help you make some determinations for who's going to be back on this roster next year.
Official announcement not forthcoming yet, but Sean Payton an extension. 2020 now, it appears, highest paid coach in the league. Some take issue with the extension. Some take issue with the amount he's being paid. And there are mulligans to be issued here. Clearly he's getting those. I don't think there's any doubt he's still among the better coaches in the league. Whether he's among the best is debatable. But certainly this is something born of loyalty, something born of appreciation, and something born of trust when it comes to ownership and Sean Payton.
And I think Ed Daniels made a good point in his story at SportsNOLA.com on Wednesday. Coach, quarterback, those are the two most important parts that you have to have. The Saints have been fortunate to have them together for a decade, and they're working now to try to keep them together for even longer. Sean Payton essentially under contract now, although he hasn't signed the document. It was actually forthcoming yesterday at a media availability at the NFL owners meetings that the contract was in his briefcase and it will be for 5 more years. So, if Drew Brees is being offered a 4-year extension, is being reported out there, that puts him on board through 2020. So, now you got to keep in mind, 2020, Drew Brees is 41. Sean Payton's 56. That doesn't matter as much. But Drew Brees, will he be 41 years old? I don't know about that part of it. Let's see how that goes. But I think it's important to maintain that continuity. Did he deserve what amounts to $1 million raise? I'm not sure about that.
High school baseball, and we have high school baseball for you coming up Thursday afternoon, 4 p.m., live at SportsNOLA.com, as the Huntsville Tigers host the Brother Martin Crusaders, two of the better teams in the metro area, two of the 5 choices we gave people for our top team in the metro area, and both of them are coming off of losses, so this becomes an important non-district game and a lot of power points involved.
Exactly. Both of these teams are among the top 8 in the state in the power points, which if the season ended right now, they'd be at home first couple of rounds at least. Brother Martin is number 2 or number 3 at this point. That would put him in position to stay at home all the way on the road to Sulphur. But of course, there's a long way to go, and this is a big one. This will make a big impact on some power points down the road, as you mentioned.
Yeah, we hope you'll watch, and we hope you'll listen on Saturday. We have a big Catholic League game on WGSO 990 AM. Rummel and John Curtis at Mike Miley, both at press time here. Undefeated. Curtis 2-0 in district play after wins over Jesuit and Shaw. So into the Catholic League come the Patriots, and they're getting it done. Again, 2 o'clock on Saturday on WGSO.
Should be a good one. And, first go-round in baseball in the Catholic League for Rummel and Curtis. By the way, mark your calendars. Tuesday night from Kershrooney, John Curtis, Brother Martin. See it here live at SportsNOLA.com. We'll also be part of the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase. We'll also have it on WHNO. And if you missed Trahan Hanville, watch it again Saturday at noon on WHNO TV 20.
That's a lot to digest. Yeah. We hope you do, and we hope you digest your food well this weekend on Easter Sunday and make it a wonderful family and faith-based Sunday, because that's what Easter's all about. We certainly hope you will, and have a great weekend in the process, and happy Easter to you and yours.
Happy Easter to you, and we'll see you Monday.
All right, that's our First NBC Bank Weekend Preview, brought to you by First NBC Bank with 35 locations throughout the metropolitan New Orleans area and beyond. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. He's Lenny. I'm Kenny. Have a great weekend, and happy Easter. God bless.